Hey guys, hey everybody. We are in Talk Gear, episode number 3. And today with Mr. Bobby Ang, we're going to talk about a very interesting topic. I think all of you guys want to join in as well. So feel free to comment on what we are saying about these 3 big badges over here. So Bobby, just so you know, you can see on our screen how many people are watching. You can also log in from your device. On the top corner, you can see, right? How people are
How
watching.
to see how many people has logged in?
Okay, let's check out the comments there. By the way, guys, we can read your comments wherever you're tuning from. You're tuning from the Horizon page, you're tuning from Thomas Yap page. Wherever you're watching this, your comments can be seen over here. So you can interact with us. We want you to join our conversations. Grab a drink, get some snacks. Let's have a little conversation. And today, we're going to not talking about AMG, RS, and M, but we're gonna also have a little bit of fun later on in the day. We're gonna play again. Dude, Where's My Car? Where we pit 2 very interesting choices, and then both me and Bobby have to choose, and we have to defend our choices and justify why we choose these cars, one and the other. Okay. And last one, we had a lot of fun with Tana. If you want to find out more about that, check out my Facebook page. There should be a replay. And also, before I start, thanks for watching. Please also share on your page if you want your friends to join you in this conversation. Feel free to share. And please comment as well. All right, comment as well. All right, so I think Bobby, for some of you who perhaps may or may not know Bobby, why don't you tell us a little bit of who you are?
I like cars. I run Horizon, and of course, we have 4 titles under Horizon so far, and of course the most famous one is evomalaysia.com, and we have others. We have Karat, we have Estate Malaysia, we have ID Malaysia, and we are a little bit different from most media companies, I guess. Right? And then in total there's it's the other way. Have you all subscribed to all of them? Right? Everybody has interesting topics.
Yeah.
So our team's gonna expand, and we have launched our own insurance. We have launched our Evo Club Car Wash. We have launched our extended warranty, basically to help car owners. Yeah.
Thanks for having me on board, Bobby. Like when you told me, like, hey, why don't you come and join Horizon? I was like, what? Really? Can I? I'm like, yes. Thanks for having me on board, man, and thanks for letting me express my passion for cars. Now, I never thought, and I always watch like Top Gear, I watch Henry Catchpole and stuff. I'm more of a video guy. I didn't read a lot of comics. I also read a lot of magazines, but I was thinking like, what if one day I can do it? I can actually talk about cars. You know? And here I am, and thanks. I just came out from the Aston Martin showroom to see the beautiful DB11. I'll put the review up very shortly. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. Hey guys, so let us know in the comments below, like where you're from. Let us know. Just say hi so we can see you. Hi Derek. Hi Jeremy. Ole. Yeah, Jeremy, Chris Wee, Jensen.
Chris.
All right. So subscribe to all the channels as well. Chris Wee's channel. All right. Thanks, Chris, for hooking me up with all the knowledge about classic cars. I have an E30, another classic coming soon. Wait for it.
What? Really?
Yeah. Okay, coming soon. In the projects. Check out Alex's, Rachel, Bobby's. So many channels behind there. Check it out.
Yeah.
So we are here today to discuss about interesting topic. I myself have owned not really an M car or an AMG, because it's the M235i. I've owned the C43 AMG, but and Bobby has seen the car industry evolve probably the last 2 decades. So what I'm really interested to know, because I've driven all these 3 cars, some of the older ones, some of the newest one, I can't help but to feel that a lot of things has been changing. These 3 badges means different things today than what it was before. And I just want to talk about this topic today, about AMG, M, or RS. And let us know below, like, which one do you prefer? Which one do you like? Let us know in the comments as well. Okay, which are the brands that you champion? Okay, yeah. So mine was, I'm a discerning car enthusiast, and Bobby's where I invited him because he's seen it over the course of many years, how it's evolved and stuff like that. All right. So why don't we start with this? Let's talk a little bit about the history, because I think history is important. Tell us a little bit more about like to understand like the origins lah. So how did these three brands come about? Because I sometimes hear the stories you share about like how, at least from your perspective, how they actually started. And I think that's important. Why don't we share how these three brands came about?
Okay, to be honest, I have more knowledge on BMW itself, Mercedes itself, or Audi itself than AMG or RS, which is Quattro Gmbh, right?
Yeah.
And just now you say that your M235i is not a real M. Actually, when you come to think about it, right, the first car with the M badge, right, is also like yours with 3 numbers and an I.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the first M car?
It was a 5 Series. Yeah. It did not start off as M5, Yeah.
Ooh.
So it started off as those triple digit kind of stuff. But of course, their first project was one of my favorite BMWs of all time, the 3-liter CSL, the 3.0 CSL. That was a beautiful, beautiful car. If Simon want to search for that car, BMW 3-liter CSL, that's a beautiful car. Right? That's one classic that I would, but of course it's super expensive lah. Anyway. You saw that, right? It's beautiful, man, that car.
You can bring it up in a screen.
Yeah. That was their first project, the 3-liter CSL. And are you trying to show it to people?
Yeah. Can you see it?
I can't yet. I'm still looking at your Porsche Spider.
Okay, maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, all of them started from motorsports. It's obvious, because these 100-year brands, they came from an era where automotive was just created, just started, right? They have a long history, right? And back then it's all mechanical. And in order to sell your cars, you need to prove your cars are better than the other guy, right? Like, guys, you know what guys would do? You give us 2 stones, we'll start to compare whose stones is bigger.
There's a nice stones, using stones,
yeah, we find things to sword fight, right? Even when you're peeing, you're like,
I'm not sure if I do that, bro.
Right, guys would do that. So yeah, that was how those were the days where they started racing. They want to beat one another. And that's why racing is a huge thing back then. And then it comes to racing teams, and then you have like AMG have an interesting story whereby they are actually a racing team. They race Mercedes-Benzes, they modify Mercedes-Benzes, and those days are not like now. It's not like now whereby you just write a few lines of software code and then increase the boost and all that. Bam, you get more power. Those days they are really fine tuning the mechanicals and all that, and they have a lot of their very very own in-house thing. So AMG is actually more equivalent to Alpina in a way, just that BMW did not buy up Alpina because it's a separate company that developed these cars. Like Alpina was famous for their own in-house design crankshaft, their own I don't think it's injector, carburetors or something like that. And they were recognized by BMW, but BMW did not buy them over. But Mercedes instead buy over AMG in 2005. They bought them over, so they become an in-house thing. Before that, they are actually like a racing team, independent or recognized modifier of Mercedes cars, no different from Brabus. Just that Brabus had, to me, Brabus styling bit of a question. Their styling but basically, all 3 of them, AMG started in the 60s, BMW M started in the 70s, and Audi in the 80s. Audi actually only truly revived in the late 70s, 80s. I mean, post-war, because after World War II, Audi was completely destroyed. Nothing left, not an inch, not a piece of paper, nothing left. Audi was Auto Union was bombed to oblivion. So they really, after World War II, they don't exist at all. Even BMW after World War II, they were selling what, the frying pans. They were selling those to survive. Yeah, after World War II.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, these brands came from racing, today racing is no longer as important. So I find they change a lot these days. What they represent.
I feel like a lot of the cars, at least like now owning my E30, like it was really clear what they built. I mean, it was a family salon, right? But it's really clear what they wanted to create in the car. It's going to be fun. I mean, the 1.8 liter, the car is fun.
Yeah.
So I could imagine. I never put my hands on the E30 M before, M3 before, but I could just imagine like what they're doing with those cars. So right now, are we saying that because it's less important for racing to its proving grounds for its way to get customers, people are now what have we become today with these brands?
It has become a way to show off your wallet, right? Yeah, you have the larger wallet than the other guy, and you go into lease. Is really, I mean, you look at those days when they developed this type of cars, right? They might use thinner glass, to put on those cars to save weight. They use thinner seats. It's raw. But these days it's no longer for racing. It's mainly for marketing. And for marketing, you need higher torque numbers, higher horsepower numbers. You need 3 screens, no 4 screens. And all that. It's not that I'm not someone who anti all these things, because I'm not a track day guy. I'm not a track day guy. So it's understandable. But of course, all of them have their interesting history. And of course, BMW M won a lot of races. AMG also won a lot of races. Audi is a bit interesting. Audi did not start off as being called RS. The company that was responsible for RS was called Quattro Gmbh. So Quattro Gmbh was created because they found out, what if we use 4-wheel drive in racing? From like a secret project from Ferdinand Piech under his engineering team. And this guy is my idol. So he spotted that Volkswagen military van thingy going so easily in the snow, and he was like, what if I can do a sports car with 4-wheel drive? And it was also his intention to buy over the Audi name from the remnants of Auto Union, which was demolished in World War II, to want to restart it as a brand to challenge BMW and Mercedes-Benz. So because back in the 1910s, 1920s, Audi was a luxury car maker, right? So he needed something, and this was his break. He was like, yes, this is it, 4-wheel drive. And of course, they developed it, and they also realized to make the car lower, they put a shaft within the shaft. Instead of one shaft going at the back, another shaft coming back like that, it's a shaft within the shaft. And they made this, and they went racing, and it basically raped everybody. It's just it just destroyed.
Not just rally, right?
Not just rally. It destroyed everybody. It's just crazy. And every race it went in, it kept winning, and then it was banned, and then it was banned. A lot of races it went in, like British touring, BTCC, and then they banned 4-wheel drive. Then they went into that US series. I forgot what's that name called. And then it was banned as well. Yeah. So Audi. The sad thing is Audi is rather active in racing, but then every time they go and race, they have to race rear-wheel drive. They cannot go with 4-wheel drive. So that was the interesting thing part. And then they created S to challenge M and AMG. Right? That was S4, S2, and all that. Then the interesting part is RS, because in the early 90s, Porsche was almost in bankruptcy. Porsche was in such a bad shape in the late 80s, right? Simon, you can try and Google Porsche C88. You try and look at that piece of shit, right? Porsche Porsche created that car to try to present it to Deng Xiaoping, China, to say that, hey, I want to pitch your national car project. You know, the C88 is like horrible looking, horrible car. You know, and Porsche was in deep shit at the time. They really needed something to break through. And the thing with German car makers, right, they help each other out. You know, like post-war, BMW was in deep shit. Mercedes gave them some projects.
Wow.
You know? Yes.
It's pretty damn cool. And they have no shareholding on one another. They just help each other out.
They do. They have this kind of, you know, in Cantonese saying "gong wu," you know, that kind of.
Wow.
Yeah. They have this thing going on. So when Porsche was in deep shit, right? They Mercedes gave Porsche a project to modify a car. I forgot what was that called, a 500E or something like that. And of course, the reason Porsche became prominence was because of the 917. And the 917 was the pet project of Ferdinand Piëch, the guy who basically restarted.
What the heck is this?
The C88. Yes, it's made by Porsche. Yeah.
I cannot believe it.
Yes, they pitched this to China.
It looks a little bit like a 996 front.
Wow!
Let me know in the chat below. What do you guys think about it? It looks a bit like a 996, but
someone called 88, you know, China fuck. Walao.
Wow, hot there. Chinese New Year some more. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So Ferdinand Piëch, sorry, what's his name again?
Ferdinand Piëch.
Piëch, he was responsible for building this car, or
No. He created 917. You see, Porsche started rather late, even though Ferdinand Porsche has long been known as a very famous guy, right? But it's actually his son that started Porsche company, not him. Right? So they started in like, I think 50s, post-war.
Yeah, Porsche is quite young.
And they are a newcomer. And nobody really looked up to them until Ferrari was raped by Ford in Le Mans.
Yeah.
Right? Ford went in and spanked Ferrari 1, 2, 3 in the finish sequence, the Ford GT40. Yeah. And Ford was like, Ferrari was like, oh, I need to revenge, you know? And then while Ford was celebrating, this 917 came out, which was developed by Ferdinand Piëch. And it basically, it came in so strong that Ferrari was like, I need to beat this car. I don't mind selling half my company to Fiat to fund my 512 to try and beat Porsche. And it did not win. So Ferdinand Piëch was responsible for a lot of things, including Ferrari selling half the company to Fiat. So of course, he owned the company because family business, right? So he gave this project to Porsche to turn the S2 into something even crazier. That's how the RS2 was born. And the RS in Audi was actually loaned to Audi by Porsche. Not officially, but Porsche has this RS division, Rennsport, you know? Yeah, Rennsport. So the Audi RS actually came from Porsche RS, Rennsport.
Wow. I didn't know that. Guys, so those of you guys who are Porsche fans or like Audi fans, if you like this, like, are you guys getting value from this, getting entertainment and getting value? If you do, come on, give us some likes, give us some love, some art, and also please share if you want your friends to understand a bit more about like our point of view of these cars over here. All right, and let us know in the comments below. What do you think? How awesome is that? If you think it's awesome, let us know in the comments below. That RS. Now that I learned that RS actually came from Porsche.
Yeah, Rennsport. Yeah. And our team member Alex Tamrock, he used to have an Audi RS too.
Oh.
Yeah. And CL from our driving group, he also had RS2 back then.
I asked him why he sold it. He's like, don't ask me anymore. Don't ask me any question.
But I never liked the RS2 because the design to me is a bit too the RS that taught me was RS4.
The B5, right?
Yes, the B5 RS4.
Yeah.
That was the one that really got me into it because I was reading a Hong Kong magazine back in the 90s in 1999 when the RS4 came out, and the Ferrari 360 came out as well in 1999. And I was reading the review of the Ferrari 360, and the reviewer wrote the story whereby he was reviewing the Ferrari on the mountain roads, and suddenly this guy who he did not know in an RS4 came and tailgated him in the mountain roads. And he was trying to drive as fast as possible to get away from the guy. He just couldn't. The guy is just on his tail. And he drove until his hands were shaking already. So he signaled, and then they parked their cars by the side of the road. They came down and chat, and then they swapped cars to drive. And that was one of the most captivating story I've ever heard. You know, the idea that you have a car that looks like a family holiday car, you know, that can do this. I was just imagining that scene. Imagine you're in a Ferrari, and then an Audi RS came and overtake you. Then you look to your side. First, you saw the driver. Then as he passed, you saw his daughter at the back, maybe sucking a lollipop. And then as it passed the third window, you saw the dog, you know, passing. Just imagine that scene, you know. That's how epic this whole formula is to me.
So for you, the RS really caught it sounds like from these three like motorsport brands, RS seems to have a very like a space in your heart because of that. Is it?
Yeah,
you got RS, like you bought your wife a RS, or your wife has a RS6, right?
Yeah. So I think, it's my connection or your connection?
No, it should be okay.
Okay.
So that's before we go on. Bobby shared so much about like how RS was actually loaned to Audi from Porsche. What happened to it? Did Porsche eventually sold it off, or did they just say, nah, take it lah?
It's not about selling it or what lah. It's just that Audi give them, basically tell them, hey, what can you do with this? And I'll pay you lah. You know, I mean, the time Porsche was almost in bankruptcy, to be honest. And this helps, and Mercedes also helped. And of course, Porsche, that time, a genius CEO came in, Wendelin Wiedeking. He was a banker, and then he came in, and suddenly we talk about Porsches. But should we deviate? It's okay.
Okay.
All right. He came in, and then he drew up the plans to do the Boxster, right?
Yeah.
And the Boxster saved the company.
986, yeah.
Yeah, he also got in a bunch of ex-Toyota engineers, and the Toyota engineers went to Porsche factory and like, oh, this is wrong, you're stupid, you know. And so Porsche was the first that used Toyota manufacturing system in a way.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we're deviating like that's Porsche lah. And you want to talk about your M and your AMG?
This is I'm enjoying this topic. Hey guys, have you guys enjoying it? Please share in the comments below, right? A lot of people say Rayhan say Bobby is awesome. Derek say Quattro power, right?
Yeah.
All right. So this is all I think is really interesting to learn the history of even Henry says enjoy. Henry's you. Baldwin says solid info. You know, so thanks guys. This comment, feel free to comment. We can watch your comments, yeah, guys. And if you enjoy this content, please give us some likes, share as well, and subscribe to our channels as well. All right. So we've so far talked about like Bobby was talking. Just a quick recap for everyone who just joined. We talked about like how those badges were actually motorsport badges. Back in the days, was a lot of focus on winning races to actually push the sales out. But today is going to be something different now. Okay, and we talked a little bit about how the camaraderie between all the German brands, and even talk about a car that I didn't know. It's called the C88.
Actually, in between racing to what it is now, basically to see whose dick is larger. Right? Sorry for all my profanities. Anyway, there was a period of time, right, where this hidden capability thing became such a huge thing for motorsport fans. Not just for motorsport fans, for car guys. You know, the whole sleeper effect. You know, like the BMW M's. I think BMW captured this spirit the best. You can hardly tell E36 M3. You know, people say you can hardly tell the difference without a trained eye, right? and it was so subtle. You can barely see it. And then of course the E39 M5 and all that. There is such a hidden allure to it, whereby it's almost like a close club thing, a close society thing. You know, car guys amongst car guys, we know that that is something special, whereas the normal people wouldn't know what that is. But of course, this was in the 90s, and then maybe up to the mid 2000s, and then now they just go all out. Now it's just like, now I see these brands, right, like M, AMG, RS. They are like what? They are the equivalent of Asians wearing Versace all over.
Okay, hold your thought. Okay, we're gonna come back to that in a moment, right?
Okay,
I want to hear about that. I want to hear about we talk about. We got the nice things out of the way. Let's talk about our opinions in a short while. Okay, so we're gonna go for a break, right?
Yep.
I really talk about this. This is gonna be a long topic. We're gonna talk about like what is the most disappointing moments for these brands, when did it change? Because I felt it lost something. I'm not sure, Bobby, you felt like it. Let's talk about that after the break. We'll talk about one of the most exciting cars. Of course, for you, you know that the Audi, the RS, the Audi B5 for you is like the RS4 B5 was one of the most exciting. We're going to talk about what's the most disappointing moments. We'll talk about also the best cars that came from these brands. We're going to share both ours, and we're going to share our own experiences as well. And we're going to talk a little bit about AMG's new direction as well. All right, after the break. So we're going to go for a quick toilet break. Grab your drinks. You know, do whatever you need. We're going to do for a quick toilet break, and liquid break. I finished mine already. We can see you after the break talking about these topics. All right, so stay tuned.
Really too much for me. What'll I do? What'll I do? What'll I do?
All right, and we're back. So, by the way, you're seeing that about Pro Nano and stuff. I'm proud to say one of the companies I invested in and working with to build a brand, AutoStar. We are now affiliated with Evo Club Car Wash. This one is we get to not only enjoy cars, do what we love, but get to hang out with awesome people, right? So yes, we are affiliated with Evo Club Car Wash, powered by AutoStar, which is my company, powered by Evo Club Car Wash. We're going to bring in Pro Nano very shortly. Stocks will come in. But basically, just a quick shout out. Sorry, we're gonna take a little bit of time. If you want to get your cars refreshed, we have a shop in King of Rims, tire shop. So when you fix your rims and polish your car up nicely for Chinese New Year, we can do both together, right? So the package. So special. This one last thing is that not only you get your car polished, if you're looking dull, you get to clean up your interior. We're gonna do a nice deep cleaning of the interior. But we can also do your rims. We can clean up your rims. We can also remove. We can take to King of Rims and they can fix your rims. So we can do both the polishing. We can also do the rims. All right. If you have coating already, that's fine. But for those of you who don't have coating, the car look a bit dull, send it to us. We can fix your rims and your stuff. And only for you guys, for Evo Club, you get also 2 free car washes. You can give to someone else, give to your friend. You can use it after you're done with this. So only for you guys. So that we're selling. Don't have this, only for Eagle Club. So how you get it is you go to our Instagram page, like us, subscribe to us, AutoStar Official, and send us a message if you want to claim this. Type there Evo Club CNY. Okay,
Nice.
until February only. Okay, this is only special for you guys. Okay, cool. Thanks for letting me share about this. Oh, this is only for Shah Alam, because the King of Rims is a Shah Alam. So Kuchai Lama don't have this one. Because you have to fix your rims still. Okay, so we can fix up to 2 rims for you. Okay, cool. I'm really excited about Evo Club Car Wash. Pro Nano is really good. I've tested different products, touchless products. Nothing compared to Pro Nano. They say they do it. Okay, but of course the tough one we can't remove lah. But majority of the stains come off just like that. Okay?
Some
And if you
people
look at,
expect magic. Some people expect magic.
yeah, I mean, the fact you don't have to scrub it is
Mm.
like my workers are so happy, all right, to see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So please send us a message. Appointments only, yeah, because of MCO. Okay, cool. Let's come back to this topic. AMG, and yes, someone was asking, only talking about these three brands. Yes, Tiban, we're only talking about these three brands, but we're going to talk more about like its history, not comparing which is better or not. We're talking about like, we're going to share our personal preference, okay?
Yeah.
Personal preference of these three. And let us know in the comments what do you think as well, okay? So let's go in this. Let's talk about what is the most disappointing moments for you, Bobby. But before you go into that, I think I don't know. I don't have so much like time in this. Like I haven't been like not 20 years looking at it, but I cannot help but to feel something has changed. Sitting in older BMWs, looking at the exterior of the older M cars and today's M cars. Like you said, right? You know, it used to be that sleeper look, right? Today it doesn't look like a sleeper at all. You know.
Well, put it this way. In 2010, none of them are selling more than 1 million cars a year. Back in 2010. And as we know, car lovers are getting lesser and lesser as younger generation came about. There are lesser and lesser car people, car guy, people interested in cars. You know, they are more interested in bubble tea, you know, stupid Yeezys. Okay, sorry, some people my own Yeezys. Sorry. No. Basically, there are lesser car enthusiasts now, but all three brands have doubled their volume, more than double. So where do you gain your sales? You have to gain it from people who don't give a hoot about racing, about performance, about all these things. They just want something that is comfortable, luxurious, you know, and they just want their money's worth. So if you look at cars today, the kind of price you're buying, let's say 200-ish thousand, the amount of kits you get from cars that just 10, 12 years ago, people spend 300K, they don't get all these things, you know. There's so much more luxurious features in there. And the dying of automotive racing also means that that part no longer is as important. Okay, you talk about BMW M, right? When was the last time you heard BMW racing? Apart from photo shoots at tracks.
Actually, you're right. I think the last time I heard them was probably like early 2000s, right?
What kind of racing series are they in? Yes, DTM, but DTM is technically a one-make race. The Deutsche Touren Masters. They used to be racing actual cars that they sell in showrooms. These days, they are racing identical cars, identical engines, identical gearboxes, identical frames. Just towards the end, you get to customize your top shell, almost like Tamiya. You change the Tamiya shell, everything is the same in there. So you see DTM, Audi racing with BMW or whatnot, right? They're all the same cars, same engine, same gearbox, everything same. Yeah.
But today no more.
DTM, I think, is also another dying series. I think racing, unfortunately, racing have to evolve because, I mean, if you ask me to go Sepang and watch a race, right, it's already boring enough. But then the atmosphere, the people is the thing, you know, the experience. Other than that, it's not like those days. You know, it has changed. And the other part that the part that I really felt disappointing is let's talk about 1990s, right? You're driving in your, let's say in your Honda Civic, right? And then from the back you see the BMW badge coming.
Yeah.
You know that car is a lot faster than yours, right? You have to signal and let them pass, right? Then fast forward, you see a BMW, 318, my 1.6 Civic can tap out that car. You know? Yeah, that was the E36 318i, you know, the Genting Nissan Sentra can tap out that car. Right? Why? For sales, right? And then you have AMG, and then you have AMG was the worst offender in the 90s. Everything also they put an AMG badge at the back there. Chin Chai, you see what C200 and compressor, then AMG, shit ton of badges at the
Wait,
boot.
I thought there's people putting the badge by themselves.
They have their AMG kit and then they put AMG badge. They have what and they put,
Oh, from the factory
Then-
you can order this.
Yeah.
Wow.
But of course they have their double digit AMG. Those people will know are the real ones.
Yeah.
But these days, right, it's like, those days you see a Mercedes badge. Oh, it means power, it means sophistication, it means a lot of things. These days, you have a Mercedes badge, there, you're not AMG, right? And then when you are AMG, you're not AMG C63S. You didn't buy the S. You don't have enough money. You only buy C63. Then came all this competition lah, RS6 Plus lah. I mean, when will it end? Imagine one day you have RS6 Plus Pro Max. All these kind of abbreviations at the back.
Yeah.
It just dilutes what it was back then. It totally dilutes it. So I just find that all these things just to me just see like M5. Oh, M5 only not competition. What is competition?
Yeah, it wasn't really a thing back then, isn't it?
Yeah.
For me, the most disappointing part for BMW, at least, I grew up loving BMW. I wanted a BMW, so I actually got myself a 1 Series, right? That was the most affordable BMW I could get, like an F20, which I love so much. It drives like a coupe, all right? It drives like a coupe, but it's a hatchback. But when it's time for me to upgrade, right? Because I technically screw up my car, I stage tune it, custom tune, custom downpipe. The car was noisy as hell. I pity the next owner on that car, right? But I was looking like, I was really confused because I said I'm going to get an M4, right? Because the natural progression is you want a coupe, right? You make more money, you want to enjoy it. You always wanted an M car. And I look back, like the E46 M3 was like, whoa, like that straight six. I didn't like the 92 because at V8 I felt was just like uncharacteristic of a 3 Series. But wow, 6-cylinder again. I drove the 4 Series. I felt like a boat, man. The car's like a boat. I mean, it's agile, but it's so big. It's like it's like a Grand Tourer. It's like it felt so big, and I was going to give up on the BMW. I said like I'm going to just sell my 1 Series and drive my old Honda City to figure out what car I can buy next, right? Yeah, so that was actually really strange. And I did told you before the call started, I said like I didn't really own the M car. And I take it back. Like when I drove the M235i, that felt like an M car. That was the formula because it was understated. You look at the car, it's like, look like 3 Series lah, whatever lah, right? Yeah. No one bets an eye on that car, all right? Unless you're a car enthusiast, okay? Which I kind of like because it's like super understated. And then it's decently fast, but it has short wheelbase, big engine. You can, and the car is so snappy. Like it reminded me of the E46. So I drove the car for 5 minutes, or less than 5 minutes, like I think like 15 seconds. I was like, I want this car. I want this car so much. Such a good car, and it's comfortable enough to drive it as my daily. I drove it as a daily. I clocked 170,000 miles on the kilometers in that car, So I clocked a lot of miles in that car. I love that car so much, and that felt for me like at least the M4 was quite for me lah. The F80. I'm not sure about a lot of people. For me, it just felt disappointing, to see the F80 actually, the F80 and F82. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's fast. Like, don't get me wrong, it's fast, it's rapid, and it's well balanced and stuff. But it just, just too big lah,
No choice lah. It's based on the 3 Series, right? And you look at all the car reviewers, like myself. Oh, knee room lah, head room lah, room, right? So have to grow lah, right? And they have to add more and more safety stuffs in there. You see, the thing is, what makes a 2005 Euro NCAP 5-star car unsafe now? It is actually the 2010 5-star Euro NCAP car. Because if a 2005 Euro NCAP 5-star car crashed into another 2005 Euro NCAP 5-star car, he might survive. But if he gonna crash by a 2015 Euro NCAP 5-star car, he's gonna die. Cars are getting, these kind of safety agencies, right, raising the bar all the time. They are the results. They are the reason that cars got larger and larger, heavier and heavier, and become less safe for like your 318i, right?
Yeah.
Your 318i, if
The E30.
if you got hit by the new Myvi, you're gone case, bro. You're gone case.
Toy.
Yeah, sorry. I mean the 318i in general lah. So cars have grown. That's why they also launched the smaller ones. Like you bought your M235i, right? You brought it to Enduro with us.
Oh, that was such a good trip, except for the food poisoning.
We didn't cause that food poisoning.
No, don't blame you guys. Yeah, but I was happy I could get up for one night lah. But yeah, I actually feel it. I actually now feel it when I'm driving the E30, and it's so light. It's like you and then you touch the pillar and you hit the pillar. It's like, hey, what's inside this pillar is nothing.
Yeah, good points. Those days are gone. Those days are gone.
Yeah, but I feel that the E90 series for BMW, the E90 M felt a bit that was starting to like decline and lost its like. I don't look at the M5 lah, more like I like the 3 Series a bit more, but the E90s for me, when it felt like it was starting to lose its plot lah, they started to go with a bigger engine and stuff. At least for me, I know about what you think about it. It's a nice sounding engine.
That was my favorite, the E92.
Oh,
M3,
really?
The E90 M3. That to me, naturally aspirated, and the thing is that we have this wrong perception of looking at engines solely by displacement.
Yeah.
This was something that was corrected on me by an American, actually.
Oh.
They don't look at displacement. They look at fuel consumption, the weight of the engine, and how much power it makes. So in terms of power output, the 2 factors that they consider is the weight of that engine, how heavy it is, and the fuel consumption. Of course, we always talk about displacement, and we cherish, we always celebrate, like, wow, look at the displacement of this engine, it's so small, but yet it produced so much power. But the Americans will be like, don't talk to me about displacement. What is the weight of that engine? See, a lot of Americans, right, they swap in LS3 engines into their little Miatas, right, which is a big block, which is a small block V8. Right?
Yeah.
But in reality, those engines, they are like 20 kilos heavier than the little Mazda Miata engine. Only 20 kilos heavier. See? For them, their logic is weight. Because if you say you have a small displacement engine, but then you push, you rev the engine to such a high revolution per minute, and it's so stressed up, and you need so much cooling, you need so much piping, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, those things also weigh. Right? You look at a highly charged small displacement engine, they also have a lot of piping running around the car.
Yeah.
Maintenance and all that. So I think that part, the Americans' logic is correct. And to me, they are one of the best engine makers.
Yeah, that's how the Porsche, even though when the 718 came out, smaller displacement, though more heavier than the predecessor. Though smaller displacement because of the cooling system required for the turbocharging and stuff like that, right?
The problem is first of all is the regulations that were set by governments all over the world. You see, the whole car sales thing has shifted to Asia, right? Asia is where the real growth is, and Asia's taxation is mostly revolved around displacement. Yes. And it's a valid thing, because if you cross a certain threshold, you will hit another taxation.
Like Singapore.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't realize this when they design car engines, right? They even look into different markets' government regulation to decide what CC to
and hence that's why all the companies are changing how they're building cars, right? And arguably, is that perhaps why we hear rumors of C63 is going to be 2 liters in the future?
Well, I tell you, when I my faith with AMG was so strong, right? Because I really think AMG is the manliest of all three of them. AMG is the manliest. My faith for AMG was so strong that when I heard this news, right, I refused to believe. I was
Me
in
too. I thought it was as an April Fool's joke. Then I said, wait, it's not April.
I was in complete denial until more and more people, send me links, told me that this is really the case, right? I'm like, serious? But then just know this, car making is a fluid thing. I mean, the rumors are true that so-called the next C63 will be hybridized, 2-liter powertrain, blah blah, the future of these powertrains and all that. The rumors are valid one, but car making is a very fluid thing. Who knows, right? But then there's also the rumor whereby that's why Tobias stormed out of the room and quit and go and join Aston Martin. Yeah,
Okay, let's
yeah.
come back to this topic again. Talking about that's really cool. I mean, I couldn't believe it. How many of you guys couldn't believe it? If you couldn't believe it, let me know in the chat that it's of the three brands, the one that have that believed in big displacement. Like this is the guys who slapped in the V12 in the W204 in the C segment. Now going to the smallest C. If you guys don't believe, have the same reaction like me and Bobby, let us know in the chat as well. All right. But let's talk about something. Let's go quickly about these things, and then let's go into the next game, into the next part. The segment is what was the most exciting car for you in these three? The M, the AMG, and the RS. And which of the three exciting ones, which is your favorite of the three of the whole history?
I think the reason I did not end up with an M or an AMG, right, is that at least for me, there never was one perfect package. I love all these performance variants. I mean, AMG or M or RS, right? M, of course, I mean, there are cars that you read about it and you love about it, and then when you grow up, when you can afford, it's unobtainable, right? You couldn't get like a E30 M3 Evo anymore, these are unobtainable. And then there's of course the E39 M5, which Con love. Is practically you can't find it in Malaysia. There's none. I know there's a shit ton of them in US, but Malaysia you just can't find them. And but E39 M5, yeah, the car is beautiful. That weird displacement, 4.9 V8, Then the E60, I love that engine. I love that S85 5-liter V10, the screaming engine. I love that engine, but it was in two of the ugliest BMWs, like the E60. And
I agree with you, man.
Yeah, and you're like, hey, are you gonna put this engine into something else? And BMW is not as straightforward as Mercedes. Mercedes is like, that's the 6.2. If you see a C63, it's the 6.2. You see an E63, it's the 6.2. The thing that I felt Mercedes done right with AMG is that they don't hierarchy their performance division engines based on which segment you're getting them. So in C, you can get 63, 4-liter V8. In E, you can get the same one. In S63, you can get it. And BMW has always have this embarrassing hierarchy thing, which Porsche also plays. Like, oh, the Cayman should not be better than the 911. They try to do this, and Audi as well. But I think they should go all out at Mercedes-Benz. If wouldn't it be nice if someone wants a 3 Series body, but they want the freaking 4.4 V8 bi-turbo, right? And not the 3-liter, So I think that part. So and back to BMW, and there wasn't really one that I think the closest would be the E92 V8, but then the car has a crap interior. It's just utter crap. It looks nice, but it's not well built. At least for my judgment, when I am available in the market to be able to afford some of these, at least for my judgment.
So of this one, what would you say for the E93, E39 M5, the E60 M5, and then the E92 M3. Which is your favorite in the M?
E92 M3, E92 M3, the V8.
Wow. How many of you guys believe? How many of you guys agree with Bobby? That is on the chat below that you think the E92 M3 is your favorite as well. For me,
I don't, yes, you go ahead.
And the E46 M3. You know,
Oh, the E46
CSL. Yeah, and the especially CSL was like to think of that car can produce that kind of horsepower in that small little 3.2 and the small body. You know,
Yes.
I like the feeling of a small car lah. So for me that get kind of just the looks not too much. I like the E36 and the E30s a bit more, but for the performance it provides and you know, and actually the other one maybe a Z4M, but I heard that car is very hard to drive lah. I saw one in the market last time. I wanted to buy one between my M235 and then my friend told me that car is jarring to drive. Forget about it. Yeah, because it's going to be a daily, right?
That would be super cool, man.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's mine. That's mine. All right. So how about AMGs for you? Which AMGs for you were most exciting?
You know what? Recently there was a CLS63 AMG shooting brake for sale.
CLS63 shooting brake.
Yes, recently there was one. I think about 2 weeks ago we shared on Horizon. And if I hadn't gotten my RS6 right, I might look at that because I really love how the car looks. I love it. Of course I love the AMG engine sound, right? And that one has the 5.5 V8 bi-turbo. Of course it's not the NA 6.2, which gets a crazier sound. But that was the closest to me in terms of perfection. And of course, I love the S63 Coupe, S65 Coupe, and AMG. At least they made the SLS AMG. I love that car, the gull wing, the SLS AMG, and
it felt like AMG is the only one that's willing to push like the limit with the like we think of like the three brands, right? AMG is the one that probably has the most like crazy designs, right? The gull wing and things like that.
Yes. That's why I admire Mercedes for that. I mean, they are all out. They are the manliest. They're like, what? I AMG this, AMG that. You know, oh, I've had too many gearboxes. I don't care. You know, I'm not making money. I don't care. Too many engines. There was a point. You can count like how many drop tops that Mercedes have. You know, you have the SLK. Then you have the SL, then you have the SLS Roadster, then you have the E-Class Cabrio, the C-Class Cabrio. It's like,
now they mention it, right? Yeah, the M seems to be very conservative with what models they put out. And then the AMG would just, I'm doing this lah, supercar. Okay lah, here lah, convertible. Family salon with my biggest engine. Take lah.
Yeah, so AMG is a bit crazy on that. And
would you say that AMG is known more for their engines than their handling? Is that a false statement?
Now it's definitely a false statement. It's definitely a false statement now because I find AMGs nicer to drive now than M's. Of course, the newest M's, I haven't driven them, but for what I've driven, I mean, the E63 is so much more exciting to drive than the M5.
Oh, really? Wow.
Ooh, yeah, man, the E63 is brilliant. Really. The car is brilliant. And the reason I didn't look at a used one or what is just, I think I told everybody before, I mean, there's no footrest. How to drive? How? Because I was in Mae Hong Son. Thank you, Mercedes Thailand, for loaning me that E53 AMG in Mae Hong Son. The car handled brilliantly. I mean, it's nicer to drive on the mountain roads than my RS6 or whatnot, you know. But there was so many times where I was dealing with hairpins, right? My left foot just slide underneath the brake pedals. Oh, because there's no proper footrest. There's no proper footrest. And if you enjoy mountain road driving, that's something you need. You know, it's not a small complaint. It affects your sitting posture. You know, when you drive, how you move your body and all that. It affects everything. So, but the older generation, like I said, the CLS63 AMG, that one doesn't have this problem. That one has a proper footrest.
But back then, those cars didn't handle that well, right?
Yeah, they don't.
But they produce brilliant engines, right? Yeah.
brilliant sounds, but I don't know about. I mean,
Performance.
yeah, I would say. I mean, even in the newer generation, let's say the BMW's 4.4 V8, Mercedes 4-liter V8, Audi's 4-liter V8, I prefer Mercedes one in terms of engine response, in terms of the character of the engine. The Mercedes 4-liter V8 has got to be one of the best turbocharged V8s from all three companies. It is the better one. Yeah.
You know, being a Beamer fan, right? You know, I have the M235i, you know, always wanted M3 E46. And then when I cannot believe it when I driven the C43, right? Which I sold, but you know, people ask me like why did you sell that car? It's a brilliant. Actually, you know what? The first thing that really caught me when I drove the car was the engine. It was, you know, like say all you want about the Street 6, but that V6, right, have so much pull from the bottom to top. Like the performance is just like wow. And
The C43, right?
43 and then 63 also. The engine is just relentless, man. It just wants to keep going. You know, M cars, right? The engine, I feel like always in the top end. It sounds nice, but it's starting to run out of breath a little bit, you know. And whereas the AMG engines, even though okay, this is not a full AMG, you know, but I felt like the engine just kept delivering and delivering, you know.
And it's fuel efficient compared to Audi's 3-liter and all that.
I've driven the M235i, you know, it's just lighter car, 2 doors, and C43 is heavier with 4-wheel drive and everything. Is actually more fuel. I can confirm that it's more efficient.
Right, it's amazing. The 3-liter that time was the V6, right? Yours was the V6, 3-liter V6.
Yeah.
That engine is brilliant. It beats the N55 engine.
I like the engine more than the 63 because I think you can rev it out more in spirited drive. Whereas 63 is like you have to drive with your like.
Like I always make that sound impression like, and then you have to lift off. You have to lift off. You have no time to like really rev it, right?
Yeah, but I think the 43 was really good. I just didn't bond with it as much, but as like a performance to performance, the car really performs, you know.
But it doesn't drive like a BMW lah.
No, on the limit it understeers a lot. But BMW on the limit, you can play with oversteer, understeer, you know, and all this. The throttle response.
The thing with BMW is they just flow with you. It's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
You know,
in the corner at the limit, you just point and then you just tekan and it says, please take me. No, the 4MATIC does everything, you know. But the BMW, you can put inputs, you can adjust, you got options, you know.
Yeah. BMW is beautiful, the way they drive.
So I would say that it's still today, I think BMWs are still brilliant to drive in that sense. It's smooth.
Yes, definitely.
I hesitate a bit.
Steering no feel though. Steering no feel. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, no feel at all. Okay, how about RS? How about RS? Your favorite RS? Well, I don't have a favorite AMG because the brand just never really connected with me, so I can't say much about it. But let's talk about RS. Okay, RS.
I have a lot of favorite AMGs just that I couldn't afford.
Yeah. Let's talk about RS. Okay.
RS,
sorry, I also make sure we stick on time. What's your favorite RS then? Guys, let us know in the comments below. So, what's your favorite AMG? I see Jensen say it was the SLS. Someone said the SLR McLaren. Well, is that a Mercedes or is that the McLaren, that one? You know.
It's I would say it's a Mercedes because the front logo is a Mercedes, right? Right. And at the time Mercedes was racing F1 together with McLaren, right? Mm-hmm. So a McLaren SLR McLaren or McLaren SLR Mercedes McLaren, I don't know lah. But basically, it carries a Mercedes badge.
Mercedes badge. All right. Let's talk about RS. Let us know in the comment below. Yikang says W212E63 pre-facelift. Wow, gangster lah, you Yikang. He drives a Peugeot 208 GTI and then he looks at this car. All right. Oh,
so RS. Yeah, I mean the RS6 is something I really like and love, but how do I put this? The one that I bought is more like there's a lot of other aspects that was being considered, you know, whether the car is comfortable or not, whether it's smooth or not, it's quiet or not, all the non-car guy stuffs resulted in this, because before this I actually almost pulled the trigger on a V10 RS6, the previous generation, which I think is a prettier car. I also think it is a higher build quality car than the one that I have now. And when you pop open the bonnet, that engine is just beautiful. The two intake plenums from the side going into the, naturally aspirated car, they have real features on their engines, real things that serve a purpose, not some stupid plastic cover, right? And it's just beautiful. And I think the C6 is a beautiful, beautiful RS6. But when I drove the car, it doesn't handle as well as my S4. It's not even as responsive as my S4 in terms of initial power. Of course, towards the top end, it's even faster than my current RS4 towards the top end. And eventually, I didn't got that car because I was considering all the non-car guy stuff, whether it's big enough or not, it's comfortable enough or not, and all that. So I ended up with this. I would say of all three, the lamest actually should be RS. Of course, the story of how it was born was more interesting than these two, right? But in terms of towards, there was a point in time, right? Audi only insists to have one RS at any given time. So the RS2 was there. When they came out with the RS4, they discontinued the RS2. There's only one RS.
Oh, this one, there's no more RS2. Oh.
Yeah, they only make one RS at any given time. That was the era, lah. Then the whole thing blew up, and then now you have stupid things like RSQ3. So
how do you feel about that? How do you feel about the RSQ3 and stuff like that? Being a hardcore, not hardcore lah, but you sound like an Audi fan, and
I think they need a place to put that engine. Basically, Audi also pull another manly thing like AMG. We have to be as manly as AMG.
Hello? Wait, am I lagging or I think Bobby is lagging? Okay. So while Bobby is reconnecting, let us know in the comments below, what do you think about what are your favorite RS? Even though you're not an RS Audi fan, I know some of you guys are Beamers and Mercedes fans. Like what's your favorite RS? All right. Personally, I think the RS on the Q is kind of weird. Yeah. So I'm talking about my favorite RS. My favorite RS is actually strangely the B9 Audi RS4. When I first saw that car, I thought, what a good looker. What a really good looker. I think Bobby is going to reconnect anytime shortly. But what a good looker, the RS4. And to, is this idea you want to have this 3-car dream garage, right? And you want to have one car that's you want to have a race car, you want to have a sports car or drop the top, whatever, but you want one car that does everything, right? And I think the RS4 is what I saw to be. Hey, Bobby. I was just sharing with everybody like what I think my favorite RS is the B9 RS4. I think it looks really gorgeous. I think the B8 just like like I think that was the first time I looked at an Audi and it's like, wow, it looks good, and in the Sonogra green, right? The green color, right? It just looked like it looks good. And it was a car that I thought that would be a nice daily lah, but looking at the price of Audi's RS4, I don't think I ever own one. But after you showed me the Audi B5, right, I started looking for it. I think it looks really good. I think it looks really handsome. It looks understated. It just looks like you wouldn't bet an eye on the car.
I love that car, lah. And that is still a car that will haunt me, lah. I was like, oh my god, that car is wonderful, man. 2.7 bi-turbo, small body, clean body shell, and all that. Yeah. And I'm one of those that I started liking Audi back in those days when Audi wasn't at all popular. You go.
So for you, it was that spirit that made you really like Audi more than just its pure performance, lah.
Actually, my favorite car brand is Alfa Romeo.
Really?
Yeah, just that they didn't make any car that I like. No, I'm serious.
I know that you licked one of the cars.
let's put it this way. If you ask me, will I wear Audi T-shirt or Audi hat? I won't. Alfa Romeo, yes, I would.
And why is that?
I just love the story of that brand. You know, the history, what they insist to make back then, and this Italian. I mean, without Alfa, there won't be Ferrari. I mean, put it this way: without Alfa Romeo, there wouldn't be Ferraris, right? And it's just, you see, I always look at cars that I buy has nothing to do with whether I like the brand or not. In a way, I look at the package. I look at the design, the comfort, the materials. The package has to be complete. It's just that for the past 10 years, for my taste, Audi seems to have ticked the boxes more often than others. You know, they make beautiful interiors, you know, and I'm not someone who go track day. If I'm someone who go track day, or I'm someone with the driving skills of Ivan Kong, you know, or Alex Stamrock and all that, then maybe I'll buy an M3 and be sliding on Genting Highlands and all that. I'm not that kind of driver, you know, I'm not competent in that level. For my needs, for my daily needs, what the kind of car I want, sort of, they hit the boxes more. And I foresee Volvo to hit the boxes more next time.
Really? Oh,
yeah. For daily,
I'm really surprised when I was asked to review the Volvo. I was like, okay, I'll do one lah. It's a Volvo leh, you know. But when I drive it and I was like, wow, as a car enthusiast, a car spirited driver, I would want a Volvo.
It doesn't disappoint.
Yeah, it's not a spirited car. All right, fine. I try to drive it out Genting, you know. But it can keep up. It can keep up, but that's not the point. The point of the car is that you drive and you feel so pampered, you know, in that car.
Yeah, daily
so
use
pampered.
it. You know?
And then that's I feel that at least like in that perspective, Volvo has got that intentionality right with the car. You know, it's very clear. I feel that okay, I can't speak of M and stuff because I never owned like old M's and stuff, but I felt like the BMWs, they try to like overlap a lot with what like Mercedes is doing, for example. They kind of lose a lot of character because of that. You know, but when you sit in a W123, you sit in a 190E, or you sit in a W124, and then you sit in the E30, it's very clear these two brands have very different thoughts about what a car should be. And they're not afraid to explain. Yeah, it was really clear. It was really, really clear.
But I think they have all converged. You know,
Yes.
This one you have to credit BMW for marketing this driver's car thing so well that even today, Mazdas and Toyotas, they all drive really, really well. You know, even Hondas, Hondas have always been rather sporty, right? Even Hyundais and Kias, all of them handle really well. I think all this we have to credit BMW. They have been, because last time when Mercedes was the king, you know, it's about luxurious, it's about soft, it's about comfortable, you know,
and that was very clear.
And Lexus was all out into that direction following Mercedes-Benz. And BMW crafted this thing of a luxury car needs to be something that drives well. And if you don't drive a car that shows you are a proper driver, you are not manly enough. You are not, you know. So they actually created this genre of luxury cars that you see back then in those days, right? You look at a Ferrari. What is in the car that suggests to you that they are luxurious, you know, or an old Porsche from the 80s or whatever, right? It's just
nothing.
It's for sport, you know, it's sporty. But
except for the Astons, right? The Astons did go that way, right?
Yeah. So BMW actually made everybody realize that cars, you should put emphasis on how a car drives and how it handles. And now almost everybody realized that is one of the criteria they have to tick when they create their cars. That's why even Volvo's now, the engineer that was in charge of their handling was an ex-Porsche Carrera Cup champion, you know? Yeah. So even Volvo also makes sure that their cars drive well, and everybody does that, even Lexus and all that. I think that I should credit BMW in making handling and car guy-centric sort of nice to drive thing to everyday masses, to everybody, you know. I mean, my wife, last time when I bring back test cars, every time there's a BMW or a Porsche, she wanted to drive. And she will go night drive with me. She will go Uluyam with me. We drive one car each, you know, back then. And she always say, every time she drove a BMW, she was like, oh, it's damn nice to drive, you know. But a lot of people can't put it to words what exactly that is. But it's damn nice to drive. And of course, she complained like hell when she drive the W205 C-Class. It's like the stupid gearbox, don't know what is it doing. When the W205 first came out, right? Even the C200, C250, they have. So that's the thing. That's my other gripe with Mercedes-Benz. They know they can, but then they are like, you know.
Good enough lah.
Yeah, sometimes they do that in their cars.
I think BMW spends a lot more time tuning up the car in the driver's perspective. You know, even like driven the M340i, they really know how to make sure the gearbox and everything, like and the X drive, how it syncs up together in the driving experience. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
More thoughtful lah in that sense. Yeah. More tuning done in that sense lah. But anyways, this has been interesting for me, guys. If you're getting value from this, let us know in the comments below. What are you getting from this conversation? And did this conversation change your impression of these three brands? And the reason why I'm doing this is not to compare which brand is better. That's not my intention of doing this show. My intention of this show is to share a bit like what elements has created these three brands. And I know we trickled down to the three big brands like Mercedes, Audi, and BMW. But you know, it's inevitable lah. We have to talk about those brands lah, right? But I hope to create like a different understanding of like what and why and to understand each other better. Because I think in Evo Club, I always felt that every time I meet anyone in drives, we're not trying to compare who's better than the other. It's always about we all enjoy cars. And I got so much value by learning from everyone when I hang out with about cars, you know, in this group more than anyone else. And so I want to bring this talk gear to you guys so that we can actually grow more and understand and appreciate cars more. Hence,
this just reminded me one thing. You know, there was this time where I was interviewing Stefan Winkelmann. He was the previous CEO of Lamborghini, and then he became the CEO of Bugatti. Right, Stefan Winkelmann, and then he was in charge of Audi Quattro Gmbh. So he was the boss of Lamborghini. Then there was confirmed news whereby they are shifting him to Audi Quattro Gmbh.
Yeah. So
I was lucky enough during that time. I was at a Lamborghini event in Macau, right? So I sat on the same table with Stefan Winkelmann. I was like, okay, congratulations, you know, moving to a more profitable portfolio. Because Audi earns the most money for VW Group, right? Second will be Porsche. So I was like, then we chat a bit. Then I was like, I have a small request. Can we not have the RS Q3 anymore? I was like, I mean, what is an Audi RS Q3 when the Q5 only have an SQ5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Q5 only has an S, but the Q3 has an RS Q3, and this kind of thing. I mean, just because they want to slot that they want to make use of the RS3 engine, the 2.5 inline 5 engine, to more usage, you know, because if not, that engine, that is the weirdest engine lah. It's like 2.5 5-cylinder. It's half the V10 Audi RS V10 engine, half of it, and no choice. But I would say the S and RS actually, to me now, I don't know, man. It disappoints me the most out of all three of them. It disappoints me the most. Like the S6 now in Europe, you buy an S6, it doesn't come with an exhaust. Yeah, they turned the S6. The S6, right, back in the C6 generation, the S6 was a 5.2 V10 NA car.
Yeah.
5.2 V10 NA. and the RS6 is a 5-liter V10 twin turbo. All right, that was in the C6 S6. Then in the C7, okay, it still has the 4-liter V8 bi-turbo, but detuned a bit. And now in the new S6 in Europe, it's a freaking diesel, and it doesn't have exhausts.
So you cannot buy it with petrol; must be diesel.
In Europe, at least, it's just.
You get to spec it as a diesel. You get to spec it as a diesel.
No. The S6 is a diesel in Europe now.
Wow.
It's like, what the heck is that? Basically, it has become more like a legitimate S line.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just.
Oh,
it's
that's
just
the future, lah. Yeah.
horrible,
Okay,
lah.
before we go on to our last segment, someone asked this question then. Since we talk about our RS and S, I know we're a bit all the time, but I want to talk about this. What do you think about the future of the newest M? What do you think about it? The newest M. The looks of it.
Do I look good?
I think they tried to bring in the E30, the 2002 kind of design, the longer.
I don't care whatever they say, lah. It's just. I mean, yes, it's striking, right?
But maybe after 3 years, everyone will accept it, right?
I don't know, man. I think that was not the correct way to do a big grille, because okay, you can ask Simon to search BMW 3.0 CSL how much concept, if she's able to find that.
3 or much. Okay, let me see if I can do it.
3-liter CSL how much
Can you see this?
concept? Yes, that is big grille done right, and that would be striking as well if BMW pull this off. Right? I mean, it's also big grille, but it looks good, right? And I don't know what was lost in translation from that to this new one.
I'm willing to say that maybe in 3 years' time we'll be okay with that big grille.
We will certainly be okay with the big grille, because like all songs, you play it, you repeat it enough on radio stations, right? It will sound good.
Yep, perhaps. But yes, when I first saw it, I was like, what the hell are they doing with this car? And the only thing I can think about is that when I look at my E30, I said maybe they're trying to bring that design language into the newer M's. Let me guys know one thing in the comments. What do you guys think about that design?
Yeah.
Right?
But you cannot deny, right? You cannot deny that there was a time when BMW launched new car, like the current X3, when they launched it, everybody was like, okay, yeah, new BMW, yeah, it looks just like the previous one. That is seriously a problem that they have to tackle, and they have the courage. They've always had the courage to do crazy things, like the E60 M5. I actually still have a soft spot for the E60 M5. Huh?
I think Chris Bangle the designer Chris Bangle is, I don't know lah. Some people say it's way ahead of his time, but when I look at it, man, I mean,
it's striking. Even you look, I mean, I was saying, I said the E60 and E63 is ugly, but they are striking nonetheless. And if we say that the current one is controversial, right? It wasn't as controversial when that Chris Bangle 7 Series came out. That was that was brutal. And that was outright brutal, the way that the headlamps, but that was the only 7 Series in 7 Series history. That was the only time the 7 Series outsold the S-Class.
Really? Or because of its is it because of the design?
I don't know. It's just so ugly, and yet it outsold.
Say all you want about Chris Bangle, but he delivered, I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyways, it's sorry, you were saying?
No. I was like, why am I drinking water?
Anyways, we talk a lot about BMW. We talk about our opinions about these cars. We shared about.
I want to ask you something, bro.
Yes, bro. What's up?
Let's say your next M, what would you buy?
Oh, good question. So over the last few days, we hang out with some Evo Club guys over like Zoom, because we cannot drive, right? So we just hang out on Zoom lah. And we're playing this thing called the 3-car garage, like your dream 3 car. If money wasn't a problem, what were the 3 cars? I've been juggling around this too. The M2 CS manual gearbox, because it's the only spec you can drive is manual, or M3 CSL.
M3 CS.
The
That one
E46.
unobtainable, bro.
What was it?
Unobtainable, right?
There's some in Malaysia, I think SMG gearbox, but I don't know, like these two are the. If I were to get an M, it's either these two. I'll never look at the 3. I will never look at the 4, because for me, in my world, I see the M car as the small wheelbase, big engine. That's snappy. That you can snap it. The M235i is the only car I dare to drive up Genting without any traction control. I turn it on, everything off. No kidding. Because it's so well balanced, but you can snap it, you can pull it back. It's very snappy, like very, very naughty. There's a naughtiness to it. If somebody watch the video, you can drive like a lunatic with that car.
When you're my age, you won't.
Won't. Yeah.
People won't know how much older I am than you, right?
A little bit older only,
almost a decade, right?
Almost lah. Okay, but M2 CS really is something I would think about, because I think finally they put the adaptive suspension inside the chassis, so it's something that can really be considered. And I think that would be the car that if I were to consider M, is between these two. Let me know in the comments, guys, whether E46 M3 CSL or the newest M2 CS. And by the way, it's the Evo Magazine UK Car of the Year. Yeah. So that's my tool, bro. Yeah.
For me, my next car, not next car. I've been wanting to drive or own or daily a single clutch automated high-powered car, because like SMG gearbox and all that shit, right? Because I know the trouble, but I felt dual clutches are damn boring these days. They are so smooth.
You're right, bro. Like I think about
boring.
I cannot think of buying a new car anymore. Like it's not that I don't like new cars. I think it's impressive, like all the technology they put inside. But I think a lot of things are lost in translation now. Thanks to Chris Wee. Thanks a lot for introducing me to this. But I really feel like it was really direct. You can hear what the designers wanted to do with this car. It was very clear. My next car is going to be a classic, another classic. Yeah, review it in the future. But yes, the newer cars are boring to. Don't say boring now, but you're right. It's too easy to drive. Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm not someone who wants to. I want something that is, a lot of. I always joke. I always send people that picture of old folks' home where all the old aunties are sitting there. I always send that picture when some kids are saying, "Hey, you need to drive a manual. Then only you're a man. Then you're a real guy." Then I'll send that picture and say, "Oh, congratulations! You just match up to a bunch of grandmas, because all of them drive manual."
That's
right. So at least to me, I felt that it's about the experience, having a different experience. And Yi Kang was saying, "Wow, Bobby want Aventador." I mean, yes, the Aventador, right? When you drive it, right, it's like you rev, and then when it's about to shift gear, you go like that, and then the whole chair, bam, on the back, and then bam, bam. Wow, it's brutal. But of course, I'm not someone who would buy this kind of supercar kind of profile kind of car. I'm always a sort of like a GT.
I didn't know the Aventador was a single clutch. Wow.
It is a single clutch. It's
brutal,
crazy,
man. What the hell are these engineers thinking? But this is crazy.
And man. I mean, if only the I
Thanks,
don't know.
Yi-Kang, for your very inappropriate comment.
Shit, man. I want a V10. I just want a V10. I don't know. I really want a V10.
You can transplant the V10 from the E60 into your current.
That's the thing. I mean, how I wish, because I love my 6 Series. It's beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful BMW designs. And I never really liked the 4.4 V8 engine from BMW. Driving it, it's not as characterful. It's not as responsive as the other two, you know. But nevertheless, I love that V10. I love that 5-liter V10. If I can transplant that,
really good. It just when it revs up to like above 6,000, it's like wow. Hui.
Oh, that's
Anyways,
screaming.
Wang JT says avant to use single clutch because the engine bay lacks space. Wow, interesting. I didn't know that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Maybe use a Volkswagen 7-speed dry clutch.
we already 1 hour in. We're gonna finish off this thing. Let's do a last toilet break. And then
11:30 already.
yes, all right. Let's do. We got 120 plus people hanging out with us. Thanks for hanging out with us. All right, we're gonna do one last break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna play a game called Dude, What's My Car? We're gonna pit two cars together, and then both me and Bobby have to choose one of these cars and justify why we choose. Because I have a very interesting selection for today's Dude, What's My Car? I'll see you in the break. All right. So with that, catch Dude, What's My Car after the break. Okay. All right. Let's go for
Save about 500 bucks. Save about 1,000 plus.
To work out cheaper for me.
4,000.
215, even more.
It's for 200 plus. 400 bucks of savings.
Okay, we are back, and let's finish off this session of Talk Gear with Dude, Where's My Car?
Yes.
So we put your face there. So guys, feel free to join in. We're gonna put up 3 sets of cars pit back side by side, and we have to decide which car we will drive away with and justify why, and poke each other as well. All right, just have fun.
Are they M or RS?
You'll see. We'll see. Okay, let's go with the first one. Not always. Would you rather drive away with a Toyota Yaris GR, all right, or a second-hand 2015, 2014 Cayman base spec 981? Which one would you choose? Guys, let us know in the comments below. What would you choose as well?
You let me choose first.
You choose first. You're my guest, so you can
To
choose.
own or just to drive or just to what?
To
To
own.
own. Cayman, no.
Why? Why not the GR? The Yaris.
I mean, it's definitely a good-looking car. There's a lot of hype going on. Then you just have to think about this. If this is not a 3-cylinder, if it is a 4-cylinder, will it generate so much hype? And whether it's a 3-cylinder or 4-cylinder, right? You have no way of knowing if Toyota don't tell you when you drive the car. Right? So if it is a 4-cylinder turbocharged car or rally bred, whatever, with 297 horsepower, will it generate so much hype? Right?
So you think that the engine's performance is what generate the hype, lah?
No. I think there's certainly credit to it. You know, it's the world's most powerful 3-cylinder. All this, right? There's a lot of hype surrounding it. Of course, I feel like driving it as well because I've never driven it. If you ask me to own 300,000, I think mostly are those people who have gotten bored of what to do with 300,000 ringgit. You know, those already multiple Ferraris, they've driven Porsche, driven all these things, right? They've tried everything, right? They just want something different. And I think the Yaris is perfect for being.
Actually, I think most buyers are there. I talked to a lot of people who are booking at and friends who know buyers of Yaris. They already have GT4s. They already have 911 GT3 RSs.
Yes.
They have Ferraris. And for them, that captivates that market, lah. Yeah.
It's
But I will pick the Yaris though, because I don't know lah. There's this feeling that you want a hatchback that you can bully the hatchback into corners and drive it really hard. I feel hatchbacks to have that character. You can really chuck it in the corner and just
of course.
So
I mean,
the appeal of having that is really fun.
no doubt that car will be more fun, more powerful because you pick a Cayman base spec, right?
Yeah.
And I ask you to
Price
own
range, price range.
Yeah, to own means to use it daily and all that. Because to
the
me,
Yaris are really hard to drive every day lah.
I don't know lah. For me, like I said, if I spend 300K, I'm not someone who is that kind of level where I just want something different to try, So obviously the Yaris will be faster, nicer to drive, crazier, all the stuff. But to own, I think
The Cayman.
the Cayman is pretty sweet. I mean, if you put a Cayman, I would prefer a Boxster lah. I mean, right? That's what I currently wanted. I want a small drop top.
Yeah.
With nice engine sound that would just be wonderful in Mae Hong Son, because I was struggling with the E53 in Mae Hong Son because the car is so big, right? My left tires are on the edge of the road. My right tires are on the cat's eye. All the time. So I always have to drive two wheels into the opposite lane. Because the roads are so tight. So I wanted something small, drop top and all that for Mae Hong Son. I really wanted something like that.
I got the Spider for Mae Hong Son,
Yeah, man.
No!
So many people bought their drop tops for Enduro this year.
So many people, yeah.
For Enduro. I mean, guys, don't be disappointed. Definitely.
Next year.
Let's hope next year, if we didn't die from COVID or we didn't die from the vaccine, let's go Thailand next year.
Yes.
Oh,
let's
my
look at
God.
that. So I would pick the Yaris because I still have a soft spot for hatchbacks, and I think the package is compelling. Yeah.
I think if this segment, if you put a Yaris and a Mercedes A45, right, even the 01 or whatever, that would be interesting. About 300K A35 or what.
Yeah.
Then people.
I just wanted to give one is like a coupe, small coupe, then one is a small hatchback. But let's see over here. Yikang says Yaris, Henry says Cayman, Derek says Cayman, Lester, Baldwin says Cayman. Oh, a lot of Yaris fans over here. Huh? Wow, Con says Yaris.
Of course, I mean, it's the hottest boy in town and all that, right?
Yeah.
But me, if I were to own it, I mean, I want a rear-wheel drive lah.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, so settle the first one. Let's go to the next one. This one will be interesting. Would you drive away with this or
I'll get the other one. Oh, fuck. Oh.
Okay, guys, let us know in the comments. What do you pick? What would you pick? 218 Grand Active Tourer or the B200?
I mean, definitely the BMW lah.
Why?
Definitely.
When the
drives-
BMW launched this car, I was so disappointed. Like, what in the world are they doing? Like, what? Like,
Okay,
what?
let me explain on their behalf. There was a huge market for this type of cars in Europe. There was a Golf Plus.
Yeah, yep.
You knew about the Golf Plus?
The bigger Golf.
Yeah. The Renault Scenic.
Yeah.
Do you know that when these type of cars appear in Europe, these cars are called MPVs?
Yeah, there's the
MPV
smaller size MPVs. Yep.
MPVs doesn't mean 7-seater. In our market, MPVs mean 7-seater.
Estima, Alpha.
Yes. In their market, 7-seaters are called people carriers. Right? And these type of cars are called MPVs because they are very versatile. You can carry your bikes, you can carry a plant, you can do all sorts of non-car people things with them. And I tell you, the 2 Series drives 1,000,000 times better than the B class. No, a billion times better than the B class. And the 2 Series is from an era whereby a BMW minivan like this, right, handles better than the Camry. It came from that era. Of course, the new Camry handles better, way better. But it also came from an era whereby BMW is like, hey, I'm BMW. I can make any kind of cars handle well. And this car handles really well. And it's practical, blah, 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 blah. It's just, everything is right about this car except that it is on a BMW.
I think the looks is okay. Both cars don't look that great, lah. Let's be honest, but
Not the kind of form factor that appeals to us, lah.
yeah. But
Right?
you know, if I really have to choose between these two, right? Look,
Yeah.
look at what look Con says.
Lei Lo Mei. Yeah, wait. It's like, oh my god.
I would pick the BM lah. But then there's a I might pick the Mercedes because if I pick the BM, right, people will say like, what the heck, man, Thomas? What would you?
Okay, I there's one thing I want to say in defense of this Mercedes, you know.
Yeah.
Mercedes brand
Yeah.
is the most powerful car brand in the world by far. You know, no
Because
other car,
the impression it leaves even to today is so strong, right?
no
the
other car makers brands can challenge Mercedes-Benz in 1,000 years. I can guarantee this. Why? You see, you can spend Rolls-Royce money to buy a Mercedes-Benz, and you wouldn't mind at all that a garbage truck behind you carries the same badge. How powerful this brand is to allow something like that. Rolls-Royce would not.
But BMW would not have that as well.
No way. And another thing, when it comes to brand, right? You look at Rolls-Royce, Mercedes-Benz, right? They can make forklifts. They can make a van
Buses,
that a plumber
lorry.
drives,
Yeah.
or a van that a pedophile drives. Right? They can make these type of cars, and they can also make cars that cost 8 million, you know, 9 million. They can make hypercars. You look at BMW. The moment
And they can
BMW,
race F1.
yeah,
And win F1, yeah.
the moment BMW tries to even touch the price point of 911, they fail. They
Yeah.
fail. And Audi trying to touch the price point of that kind of supercar level, they cannot. They cannot fight at all. But Mercedes-Benz can sell cars at a level of price that Bentley don't even dare. That's Mercedes-Benz. That's how powerful
Wow.
the brand is. You just think about it. So Mercedes making an MPV, right, like this, right, doesn't damage the brand as much as BMW making an MPV like that.
You have a
Because
point.
the resilience of this brand, I think this brand should be written into the history books, right, in terms of how amazing, how is this even possible? It defies every norm that a luxury brand or whatever, the kind of discipline or practice of a luxury brand should have. Mercedes defies all of them because like the example I said just now, right? You just spend 2 million to buy an S65 coupe, V12 bi-turbo S-Class coupe in your Mercedes-Benz, and you wouldn't mind at all. There is a bus, there's a van, there's a lorry picking up rubbish.
B-class.
You don't mind.
B-class. Yeah. Wow. Actually, I never thought about that, right? You know,
No
you're right.
other
no,
car
when-
brand.
when-
No other car brand.
yeah, because BMWs, you would think that like 2 million, you crazy,
Yeah.
crazy 1.5 million. Like the 8 series really stretching it. The 8 series really stretching it. Yeah.
Yeah, you look at it. I mean, if Aston Martin and Bentley go and make a hypercar to challenge the likes of Pagani and all that, right? They can't. They just can't. But Mercedes can.
Wow. Wow. This is
They
awesome.
have the, they have
I
the,
love
they have,
this point.
they have
love
the
this point.
brand catch to challenge Pagani if they want to. You know, they can
Mhm.
challenge Bugatti if they want to. This brand is just amazing. Yeah.
I so actually it's very inspirational to really think about it. And this is what I like about talking about these cars. It's not about what you drive or whatsoever. I think you draw inspiration from all these brands, and you take it into your life, you take it into your business, you take it into the way we do things. And
Sorry,
I think like
wow,
Huh?
Simon. Sorry. Simon, can she highlight the comment from Jeremy Ting?
I can do it. Yeah.
Yeah. From Jeremy Ting. Yeah. Mercedes, the previous Mercedes boss asked me this question before. Mark Rain, he was like, Bobby, you have an Audi, you have a BMW. When are you getting a Merc? I was like, there's a lot of I told him the Mercedes that I like are all Mercedes that I cannot afford. Serious. Those that I can afford, I always see problems with them. But the ones that that really match up to the brand of Mercedes-Benz, right? I cannot afford. Sorry, you go on. I sorry.
No, it's okay. It makes sense, and I just want to say that I think that's so. I like this conversation because, at least for me, I don't know how many guys are feeling like me, but like hearing things like this, because sometimes all these cars we never aspire to own, but we will look at it and we respect it and we learn from it, and all these great feats people pull off with cars, these car manufacturers become some sort of inspiration. Let us know where we can actually go with our business of our life. That's what I really like about it. Yeah.
And I just to throw in a little bit of it, if we're ending here, right? Mercedes not only invented the internal combustion engine car, that's the Benz patent motorwagen that everybody's the 3-wheel thing, right? Yeah. But actually, Mercedes-Benz also was the first car with 4 wheels.
Oh,
yes.
Oh yeah, the Peugeot they had it was 3 wheels, right? Yeah.
Yeah, all of them were 3 wheels. But the first internal combustion engine car with 4 wheels was also made by Daimler Motoren Gesellschaft, which is the company that bought over Carl Benz's company, where Carl Benz was the inventor of the automobile, right? Yeah. So people thought that Carl Benz should take all the credit, but DMG, the company that the Daimler, they made the first four wheel cars, which is fundamentally very, very important for modern day cars. There's another achievement from Mercedes-Benz. To me, that car is more important than even the first car. Was the Mercedes 35 horsepower, Mercedes 35 HP. That car was the first car which is 3-box form factor. Before this, all cars were tall with the engine below and the wheels below. Everybody sits really high up.
Yeah.
So when they go racing with this type of car, how they will fare. They will crash, right? So Mercedes DMG was the first company that decided that the engine should be in front, the passengers in the middle, the baggages at the back, and to lower the ride height of everything, the passengers sit in between the wheelbase, and they created the modern car as we know today. This form factor was invented by Mercedes-Benz. And this car went out there and S-raped everybody in racing because it's low, everybody is high. Right, and that to me is one of the most important car in history, the Mercedes 35. Yeah,
the Mercedes 35 horsepower. Wow,
yes,
look that up. Wow.
Yeah. It's the first low riding car.
Okay, that's a load of info. No, I love it, man. I love it, and anytime I get to sit with you, and then we're driving and stuff, like hearing these things, like really like enriches my enthusiasm for cars. So guys, if you're getting value from Bobby's sharing and you're enjoying it, please give us some likes, some love, tekan something lah. If you don't like, also you can give us an angry face. It's okay also. All right. We don't mind. Okay. You're free to express over here. Okay. So come back to this topic. So you will still drive a 2 Series.
Out of these two, it's nicer to drive. It's better to drive. You know.
I also picked the 2 Series lah. And Con said that he actually admittedly was looking at this before as well. Con said he was looking at this compared to his S-Max. Bro, I think you type wrong lah, bro. S-Max lah, not Sex Max. Okay.
He always calls it the Sex Max.
Okay. Okay. Let's go on to the next car. Last one.
Oh, still got Okay.
One last one.
Okay.
Would you get the Audi RS2 or the Renault R5 Turbo 2? Guys, let us know down below. Which one would you pick? which one would you pick within these two? Tough one, huh? Let's say you get to own one of these. Someone gives it to Bobby. I'm going to give you a gift. So the gift on my left side is a blue color car. The gift on the right side is the red color car. Which one would you pick?
I would pick the Renault. I would really pick the Renault.
Oh, same man.
I would pick the Renault. The Audi is the storyline that was awesome back then, and the fact that it carries Porsche wheels, Porsche brakes, but at the end of the day, right? At the very end of the day, it's a 300 horsepower station wagon, right? Which is nothing special today, right? But the Renault is okay. The story of the RS2 is awesome, but the Renault is mechanically awesome. Like, I mean, no passengers at the rear seat, but an engine,
Yeah.
And, for
It's
those who didn't know,
the kind of like setup, right?
bro, do you know how much this Renault is worth these days?
I think like 800,000, 80 pounds, right?
Yeah,
800,000 pounds over there. Yeah.
Around 400 to 800,000 pounds in terms of auction prices.
Shit.
They're crazy. They're crazy. And I once saw the Clio V6, in Malaysia. I think the last Renault with a rear engine, and all that.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, fuck, man, this thing is tempting. It's one of those. Okay, if the Yaris GR is like this, then I will be all over it, right? Because it is really something different. It is the car maker wanting something, daring, going towards ideology. Actually, more people should put more study into Renault, because I think Renault is a great car maker. It's a great car maker. One of my all-time favorite Renaults is the Renault Avant-time. Can you imagine a coupe MPV? A two-door MPV.
Wait, I gotta get this out. Okay. Renault, what is it called?
Avant-time.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up this thing. I'm going to stay off a little bit because I'm into
the car is amazing. Yes, bro.
Okay, it's bringing me some vibes of the Fiat Multipla right now.
Oh my god, this car!
It's like the Fiat Multipla turned the other way around. Tana, look at this! Oh my god,
amazing way! I tell you, this. I mean, how much balls you need to build an MPV? Right? Can you imagine the boardroom? The accounting guy was trying to talk sense into the engineers. Bro, it's an MPV. Why? But they went for it. And we should talk about Renault sometimes. I think they are crazier than Audi in many ways. Renault is 10 times more crazy than Audi. The things that they have.
Tell you one thing though, the French know how to make good hatchbacks, man. They know how to make good hatchbacks. I know. I like the Megans. The Megans are hood. They're crazy. Yeah. I mean, compared to like Golf R's and compared to like Golf GTIs, the Megane is like wow.
Before I bought my Subaru Legacy, I almost committed to RS250. It was an expired media car, and Renault was selling it to me at a very attractive price. I think they were selling it to me at 150,000, something like that. I almost pulled the trigger until they let me drive it for 1 week, and then I frequent trips from KL to Singapore. That time I always fetch my late grandmother, and cannot lah. The car on the highway, right? Wow, all the way,
But they're more committed to performance than comfort, lah, right?
But the car drives beautifully. I think I wrote an article. I don't know whether am I able to share the article. It was in my magazine back then. I compared the Renault Megane with the Toyota 86. And my title for my article was Born or bred, BRED, born or bred, because I see the 86. Yeah, there was all the hype around the 86, but it was born with, it has the basic formula of a good handling car. Front engine, rear-wheel drive, manual gearbox, balanced chassis, 50 to 50, and you have all the recipes. If you fuck up that recipe, right, you have to die already. It's a recipe that you cannot fuck up. It's like frying a chicken drumstick. If you make a chicken drumstick that isn't tasty, right, you can go die already. But the Megane was front-wheel drive. With a lot of torque for its era, with a torsion beam and all that. And for the car to handle so well, so exciting, it is really honed and bred. That was what I felt. Yeah.
We need to talk about Renault a bit more, because you're right. I think they make great.
Good.
I mean, understated. I mean, like everyone talks about when they talk about like hatchbacks, right? For example, right? Even in today's era, right? At least I didn't know so back then, but like today's era, right? We think about like hatchback. Oh, Golf GTI, Golf Rs, right? But the Megane is some. If you're a keen driver, you have to look at the Megane. You have to look at it.
It's
even
amazing.
The latest one. Even when you buy a latest Golf R, look at the Megane, man. Like, yes, it's not all-wheel drive. Doesn't have the same horsepower like the Golf R, but I reckon you have much more fun driving the Megane on the mountain road than the Golf R, for sure.
It's amazing. The car is amazing.
So for you, the RS2 lah. I said the RS. The Renault lah. Yeah.
The Renault. Definitely.
I put this because I know how much of an Audi fan you are, and a suspicion that RS2 has a special place in your heart. But I just wanted to see, like, when you pitch against something like this, right?
You see, I it's very hard for me to be a fan of a brand.
Yeah.
See, I still have to stress this. I like the brand doesn't mean I have to like the car. Same goes. I love this car doesn't mean I love the brand. Right?
Oh, but Tana found the.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, that was an old article.
Yeah. Anyways, that was fun, right? I hope you guys had fun as well. Let us know. Are you having fun, Bobby?
Yeah, I am. I'm a little bit drowsy.
I only had one can of liquid bread only. Okay, so
I don't know when I drink beer, right, I damn fast one. If I drink whiskey and brandy, I can drink a lot.
Oh, mine is that whiskey. Just like no, never touched that. Never touched that in ages, really. All right.
Yeah.
But anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. Bobby, having fun, right? Yeah.
Yeah, man. I can we have a session where we have more people? It will be too noisy, right?
Yeah. maybe need a moderator lah. Maybe in real person easier to moderate when all this COVID thing is over. But guys, I hope you guys are enjoying this. What do you guys? What is your favorite moment in this session? Please share in the comments below. We're supposed to do this 1 hour, but it's almost 2 hours, man. Like,
yeah, man. I mean, I can talk. I mean, talking cars. Sometimes we stand beside our cars and straight up stand there for 2 hours to talk. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. But anyways, like, thanks for watching, guys. Next session will be out soon. We'll let you know what the content is. Again, if you're watching this, subscribe to our channels, not just mine. Alexis, Rachel, Bings, Cons, all those guys, all in the description you can see. Okay. Also, if you want to renew your insurance, it's time for new insurance. You can't drive it around. Check out Evo Club Insurance. Okay, it's got the 40%, guys. 40. Okay, 40% of your insurance. Stagger.
All 3 cars. Oh.
Yeah, and also please. Oh yeah, by the way, also shout out to my car wash. We're gonna Pro Nano very soon. You're gonna get your car rims fixed, polished up for Chinese New Year. We can fix your rims because we are at King of Rims in Shah Alam. We can fix your rims. You can polish your car. All one-stop shop over there. Okay.
Nice.
We got a special price for you. Please DM us at AutoStar. Please let us know Evo Club. You're from Evo Club. We got a special deal for you. Okay. Okay lah. If we never end, we never end. It was such a great session. I learned so much from the brands. Now I want to learn more about Audi RS and how it actually got like it felt like there's so much influence in that era. I just want to know this guy. I won't say his name because I think I'll butcher his name. So just name, bro.
Next round, you should get Chris Wee, Alex Tamrock about his
Yeah,
journey.
I want to talk about his journey in his bicycle, in his the not just the Borneo, Trans Borneo one, the one he did in America. He drive that bike from north to south.
Yeah,
I really want to know that journey.
That is crazy, lah. Alex,
Yeah. Yeah. Also, Tana, yes, you're gonna go and check out the Fiat Multipla. To my dismay, I will have to check out the Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for watching and commenting and participating. We shall see you in the next episode of Talk Gear. With that, Bobby, anything else you want to say before we end?
Rachel is trying to buy a car. What car should she buy?
Share in the comments below. What car should she buy? All right, or go interact with us with Horizon. Let us know what car should she buy. Right, with that.
All
Thanks
right,
so much, guys. What's that?
Good night.
All right, good night, guys. Stay safe. Love you guys, and keep it 100%. Right. See you guys.